Moscow region residents said they heard loud explosions early Tuesday after several Ukrainian drones crashed into residential buildings outside Russia's capital. According to Associated Press, residents of Vidnoy and Ramenskoye, surrounding Moscow, said several explosions occurred early in the morning as drones hit the high-rise residential buildings, damaging the top floors and sending broken glass to scatter nearby buildings and cars. The governor of the Moscow region, Andrei Vorobyov, said that 2 people were killed and 8 were wounded in the attack. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said over 70 drones targeted the Russian capital and were shot down as they were flying toward it. Sobyanin said the roof of a building in Moscow also sustained damage, which he described as insignificant. The Russian military said its air defenses shot down 337 Ukrainian drones over 10 Russian regions overnight in what appears to be the biggest Ukrainian drone attack on Russia in 3 years, hours before key Ukraine-US talks were to start on Tuesday.
Звук был ужасный, у меня 2 часа сердце не могло успокоиться. Ужасный.
В 5 утра мы услышали как гул был большой, а потом как бы взрыв, и не один был взрыв. Ну, очень жутко было и страшно, прям дома тряслись.
В районе 5 утра проснулись от взрывов, грохотов. Ну и на улицу вышли. Ну, один, потом буквально там 2-3 минуты, 5, второй взрыв. Сейчас во второй дом прилетело.
Ukrainian military intelligence's drones struck the Novokybyshevsk oil refinery in Russia's Samara Oblast overnight on March 10. The statement came after Russian and Ukrainian sources reported an attack against the facility earlier the same day. The moment of the attack on the facility was recorded by video surveillance cameras. The plant produces gasoline, diesel fuel, and fuel oil, which are critically important for transport and military equipment. This includes jet fuel used by supersonic aircraft such as Su-27 fighter jets and Tu-22 bombers. The Telegram channel City of Novokybyshevsk reported that there were several explosions heard over the city at night. Tonight, the city could have been attacked, but there is no official information yet. It is known that several loud pops were heard. The sounds were heard in different parts of the city. Residents wrote that the walls and windows were shaking, the Telegram channel noted. According to the Telegram channel shot, citing local residents, the sound typical of a UAV was heard in the sky over the city before the explosion. A powerful explosion occurred near the local oil refinery. Eyewitnesses saw bright flashes in the sky. Preliminary reports suggest that one of Ukraine's UAVs was shot down as it approached the facility, added shot. The refinery is the most powerful oil processing facility among the Samara Group plants of PJSC and K Rosneft. The refinery's design processing capacity is over 8.8 million tons of oil per year. Samara Oblast residents reported loud explosions overnight, Astra wrote, adding that a fire was recorded at the Rosneft-run oil facility. The refinery was not sufficiently protected by anti-drone defenses. Meanwhile, Russia's Ministry of Defense claims to have intercepted and downed several drones, reporting a total of 9. 3 over Samara Oblast, 2 each over Voronezh and Oryol, and 1 each over Belgorod and Kursk. The city of Novokybyshevsk lies roughly 900 kilometers from the front line in Ukraine. The facility was previously attacked at least twice in March 2024. North Korea fired several ballistic missiles into the sea Monday, South Korea's military said, hours after South Korean and U.S. troops kicked off their large annual combined drills, which the North views as an invasion rehearsal. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the missile firings, North Korea's fifth missile launch event this year, were detected from the north-southwestern Gyeonggi province but gave no further details such as how far they flew. It said South Korea bolstered its surveillance posture and is closely coordinating with the United States. Earlier Monday, the South Korean and U.S. militaries began their annual Freedom Shield Command Post exercise, their first major combined training of President Donald Trump's second term. The Allies have already been engaging in diverse field training exercises in connection with the Freedom Shield training. North Korea's foreign ministry warned Monday the latest training risks triggering physical conflict on the Korean peninsula. It called the drills an aggressive and confrontational war rehearsal, and reiterated leader Kim Jong-un's stated goals for a radical growth of his nuclear force to counter what he claims as growing threats posed by the U.S. and its Asian allies. This year's training came after the South Korean and U.S. militaries paused live-fire training while Seoul investigates how its fighter jets mistakenly bombed a civilian area during a warm-up drill last week. About 30 people were injured, 2 of them seriously, when 2 South Korean KF-16 fighter jets mistakenly fired 8-82 Malawian Kwachas bombs on a civilian area in Pocheon, a town near the North Korean border, on Thursday. The bombing occurred while South Korean and U.S. forces were engaging in a live-fire drill ahead of the Freedom Shield exercise. The initial assessment from the South Korean Air Force was that one of the KF-16 pilots entered the wrong coordinates and failed to visually verify the target before proceeding with the bombing. The second pilot had the correct coordinates but focused only on maintaining flight formation and dropped the bombs on the first pilot's instructions without recognizing the target was wrong, according to the content of the latest briefing provided to the Associated Press. General Lee Young-soo, Chief of Staff of the South Korean Air Force, bowed and apologized Monday over the injuries and property damage caused by the bombing, which he said should have never happened and must never happen again. Both the South Korean and U.S. militaries have halted all live-fire exercises in South Korea following the mistake. South Korean military officials say live-fire training will resume after they complete the investigation of the bombing and form preventative steps. The South Korean Air Force earlier suspended the training flights of all its planes too but lifted the steps on Monday, except aircraft affiliated with the unit the 2 KF-16s belong to.